Today, I want to talk to you about something that could destroy your budget build plans. So, if you're trying to build a workstation or a PC on a budget, then the whole point is that it doesn't cost too much. But if you don't plan ahead, you may end up in a scenario where you've already bought the workstation or PC and now it can't do what you want it to do unless you spend more money. Now your budget is no longer a budget. So let's talk about one of the possible scenarios using this HP Z440 as an example. So I'm going to show you inside the case. I'm going to talk about the power supply and explain why you want to be careful which one you buy to make sure that it meets your needs. So this HP Z440 has a 525 watt power supply, but it has no 6-pin connections. So you could try a workaround, and that might work for like a really low powered graphics card with one 6-pin, but I would not recommend it. If you're going to use a 1050 Ti or something that doesn't require power, you're gold. These power supplies are very good. They're 85 efficiency. So they're 80 plus. They're really good. But you don't have the 6-pin. So that's one of the problems. The other problem is it doesn't have the front case fan. So if you're going to need something that requires the 6-pin, you're going to generate more heat. And you're also not going to have the extra front case fan that you need for that particular system. So for example, the Z440, when it does include the 700 watt power supply, you see that front case fan in there. So that's telling you something. It's telling you you need more airflow. So you want to make sure the system you buy is what you need. So let's look in the case, and I'm going to point this out for you. So now we're looking down in the case, and you're going to see on this particular system, it does have the memory coolers. So that's one more thing you need to consider. There are 4 slots on each side. You can have up to 8 DIMMs. So let's pull that out and take a look at it. So this only has 1 stick of memory in it, but as you can see, you can have up to 8. But if you use more than 4, you should be using the memory cooler. But not every system has the memory cooler. For one reason or another, it may have been pulled out. So now you don't have the front case fan power or fan, and you don't have the memory cooler. So if you want to use this with the full memory, you got to buy the memory cooler. They're not cheap. So let's take another look over here. And let's look at this little area right here. Now this is where the 6 pins usually run, right into this area, and they actually plug in to the front case fan housing. So it's very neat, very tidy. If you're not using them or you're only using one, it's nice. You can just plug it in there. Excellent cable management. But as you can see, there is no front case fan housing. So what you're going to need to do is buy a HP Z440 with the 700 watt power supply. Make sure that you have the memory cooler in there and the front case fan. Now I looked this up online, and you're going to pay $30 to $40 for a better power supply for the 700 watt. It has 2 6-pins, and I've seen many instances, because these are overbuilt, that 700 watt, they took a 6 to 8-pin connector and it works just fine. I ran one myself that way. So very good, very overpowered, excellent. So for the memory cooler, those can run a pretty good bit too. You can pay anywhere from 30 to 50 for those. For the front case fan, that's about $30 for the case fan housing. So right now you're looking at an extra, say 40, 80, about $100 to $150 depending on the deal you get. So that could blow your whole budget right there on all this extra stuff. Whereas if you get the system with those included, it rarely costs much more and it's already all included. So something you really want to consider when you're doing one of these budget builds. So I'm going to put this back together real quick. And I want to show you what it should look like if you get the right one. So you either need to be able to see inside the case, or you need to ask whoever you're buying it from. If you're buying it online, ask the seller. Make sure that you're getting the one that has the 700-watt power supply, if you need it, and the front case fan housing, and the memory cooler. And again, this is going to be case by case whether or not you even need that. But if you do, make sure you get the right one. Now let's take a look at another case. Now this is another HP Z440. And I'm going to show you the difference. So as you can see here, here is the front case fan. We have the memory cooler, and it's got a 700-watt power supply. So here you can see you have two 6-pins. So let's take a better look at that down in the case. So you can see it up close, and you see here the two 6-pin connectors. And they connect right into this fan housing. It's pretty awesome. So this system didn't cost much more than the system without all of these things. So I paid 20 more, but I actually saved 100 compared to if I wanted to build up the other system. Now, I had no intention of building up that other one because the person who will be buying that doesn't really need it. They just need a lower power graphics card, so there's no point in having all the extras. But if you ever intend or ever might add a more powerful graphics card, then you're definitely going to want to have this front case fan, the memory cooler, and the 700-watt power supply. So just thought I would make a video explaining these things. Hopefully this helps you avoid making a costly mistake and blowing your budget. Make sure you have those three things. If you're going to buy an HP Z440, make sure you have the front case fan housing, the memory cooler, and a 700-watt power supply, because that includes the two 6-pin connections. And those 6-pin connections have a lot of power coming to them, so you could easily convert at least one of them into an 8-pin. Possibly two. I haven't done the math on them. You should before you do that. But I know I have personally, and I've seen others connect one of them. So like one system I had, I turned the 6-pin into an 8-pin to power 1070 GTX 1070. Never had any issues at all with it. It draws plenty. So thanks for watching. Hope you like this tip, and you're going to get a lot more soon. So like this video, share this video, and subscribe to my channel.